Is your computer taking forever to boot up? Or maybe you're spending more time staring at loading screens than actually playing your games. It's 2026, and if your PC feels sluggish, the problem might not be your CPU or RAM. The real culprit is likely your storage drive. Today, we're going to dive deep into the world of storage, breaking down the difference between HDD and NVMe drives, and figure out which one you actually need to make your computer fly. Stick around because this one upgrade could completely change your PC experience. Let's start with the classic, the old-timer of the group, the 8 or hard disk drive. If you were to crack one of these open, you'd find a physical, spinning platter and a read-write head on an arm, kind of like a tiny, high-tech record player. The main advantage of an HDD is its price and capacity. They are incredibly cheap. You can get massive amounts of storage. We're talking for 8 or even 16 terabytes. For a fraction of what you'd pay for an SSD of the same size. This makes them fantastic for storing huge files you don't access all the time, like your movie collection, photo archives, or backups. But here's the major downside, and it's a big one, because it has all those moving mechanical parts. It's slow, really slow. The platter has to spin up to speed, and the arm has to physically move across the platter to find the data you need. This physical delay is what causes those long boot times and frustrating loading screens. In the world of modern computing, the HDD is the single biggest bottleneck. Seriously, in 2026, using an HDD as your main drive, the one your operating system is like trying to win a Formula One race with a car that has wooden wheels. It just doesn't make sense anymore. Now, let's move on to the essential upgrade for any modern PC, the SATA SSD or solid-state drive. The name says it all, it's solid. There are absolutely no moving parts inside. Instead of a spinning platter, it uses flash memory chips, similar to what you'd find in a USB drive or your smartphone, but much, much faster and more durable. So, why does this matter so much? Speed. A standard SATA SSD is easily 10 to 15 times faster than a traditional HDD. This isn't just a small, barely noticeable improvement. It's a night and day difference. If you take your Windows or Mac OS installation and move it from an HDD to an SSD, your computer will transform. Boot times drop from minutes to mere seconds. Applications that used to take ages to open now snap into action instantly. For the average user, for gamers, for pretty much everyone, upgrading to a SATA SSD is the single most impactful and cost-effective upgrade you can make to your computer. It truly feels like you've bought a brand new high-end machine. But what if you crave even more speed? What if fast isn't fast enough? That's where the king of speed enters the arena. The M2 NVMe SSD. Think of this as the supercar of storage. Unlike SATA SSDs that connect via a cable, these little guys plug directly into a special M2 slot on your motherboard. This direct connection bypasses the older, slower SATA interface, allowing for breathtakingly fast data transfer speeds. We're talking speeds that can be 5, 10, or even more times faster than a regular SATA SSD. Who needs this kind of performance? Well, if you're a professional who works with large files, like a video editor handling 4K or 8,000 footage, a 3D artist rendering complex scenes, or a software developer compiling large projects, an NVMe drive is a game changer. The time you save waiting for files to load or projects to render adds up incredibly fast. For hardcore gamers, it means even faster loading times and smoother in-game asset streaming. In 2026, for these power users, an NVMe SSD is no longer a luxury item. It's an essential tool for a smooth, lag-free workflow. So, after all that, what's the final verdict? How should you set up your storage in 2026 for the best performance? Here's my pro tip and the strategy I recommend to everyone. A 2-drive solution. Never ever use a slow HDD for your operating system. That's rule number 1. Instead, use a fast SSD for your main drive. A 500 GB or 1 TB SSD is a great starting point. Install your operating system Windows, macOS, whatever you use, and all of your most used applications and games on this drive. This will give you that snappy, responsive feel you're looking for. Then, use a large, cheap HDD as your secondary drive. This is where you store all your big files, your giant video library, your tens of thousands of photos, your game installation files that you don't play often, and your system backups. This hybrid approach gives you the best of both worlds, the incredible speed of an SSD for your day-to-day operations and the massive affordable capacity of an HDD for your bulk storage needs. It's the most efficient and cost-effective way to build a modern high-performing PC. So, I'm curious, what kind of drive are you currently using as your main drive? Are you still on an old-school HDD, or have you made the jump to an SSD? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your setup. And if you found this breakdown helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to NextGen Specs for more hardware deep dives and tech tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.